Okay. Well, we all knew Ed in one way or another, and I really wanted this to be people telling their stories about Ed, telling their, happiness and whatever they enjoyed. So it's not a particularly religious event. It's a celebration of his life. Um, I'll say Kaddish at the end, but it's mostly just to let his friends and family say whatever they wanted to say about him. And we'll make the video will become available probably on YouTube, but I'll send links to everybody. So, would anyone like to start and say what they want to say about Ed? Maybe Susie?
Oh man, I'm so sorry about that, Jana. Terry Bookman is trying to get on, and it says the host has another meeting in progress.
Um, okay, let me pause it for a second.
Should shift your screen because we're missing half your face there.
Oh, okay. I'll get it in a second.
Okay.
Right. I'm the sister of Ed, so I'm.
Oh, I met you many years ago.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's speaking now? Is it?
That was me, Nick Scrumbellis.
Yeah, Nick. Okay, I see you. What about Terry? Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Here's some people in the waiting room. Let me see where I can.
I'll stand up. I'll do that. No.
Okay, are we going to try to send to the
Yeah, are you going to send it to Terry?
Okay, I got more people to admit, so.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not finding it in the resend, so it must be going to the address.
She's not getting it in spam either. So
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
okay,
Let me
yeah,
maybe she can tell me her email.
okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm writing it down.
Okay, if she can have her tell me the email and
Yeah, I got her on the phone, Jenna. I'm just
okay. All right.
okay, tell me your Rick
Terry.
T-E-R-R-I.
Dot. There's a dot. Bookman. Bookman. At gmail.com.
Okay, and it's all it's all lowercase.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but yes, it is. So it's just Terry TERRI Bookman at gmail.
Okay. Did you hear any of that, Jenna? I'll repeat it if you want.
Hang on another second because I'm gonna probably have to repeat it, but wait a minute. Okay, if you can repeat that.
Okay. So it is
What
T
is it?
T like in Tom.
Okay.
E like in Edward. RRI.
Oh, 2 R's.
Yes. Right?
Okay.
Terry,
yes.
2 R's. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's where I think we
That's the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to be exact on everything in this.
Yeah.
Terry.
So Terry.Bookman, BOOKM, like a Mary, AN. Yeah, Terry, TER, Rick, I'm sorry, Rick.
Bookman at where?
Terry.Bookman
Uh-huh.
at AOL. No? Oh, I'm sorry, at gmail.com.
Okay.
Nick was the one that down south, right? I don't know.
Okay, it should go through now. The
Okay.
problem was the two R's.
She got it. Yay.
Hallelujah.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, that was worth it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. She's done it.
all right, so we'll wait for Terry and then we can keep moving.
She's in the waiting room, she
Yeah,
said.
I got her now.
She got you? All right.
I'll just say one thing. When you give me email addresses, every little letter or dot is like critical.
Yeah.
That, that's just how they do it. So if you don't get it exactly, then it becomes,
Oh, Terry.
Exactly wrong.
Okay. We'll see you on here. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of those.
Okay, there's Terry.
It's
Okay.
like sleep.
I think we should just get started then. I see that we got Terry Bookman, Kimmendale Wingert, Halia, Rick Johnson, Manning, Oleg, Nick, and Susie. And here comes Matt Aquino.
That's John's son.
Okay, we got Matt now. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm glad you all could finally get in. And I've known Ed since like childhood. I used to go to his house and Susie would be there and we were friends over the years. And I think he was an exceptional person. And I really wanted to help give everyone a chance to talk about him. So I thought maybe who would like to start to talk about Ed today?
I guess I'll start.
Susie, okay.
And then and hearing some really neat stories.
Mm-hmm.
His close friends like John and Dale and Kim.
Okay.
And whoever else wants to talk. But I'll start. I want to keep it fast but sweet because my brother didn't like a lot of fuss. We all know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, since this is a celebration of life, and I'm not going to dwell on the horrible sudden way he passed, but I would like to focus on his life, because he was a fun, eccentric, unassuming, don't worry about it. What are you worried about kind of a person, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote down a few things and yeah, anyway, it's kind of a poem. It doesn't rhyme, but just a little, chicken scratch things that I wrote down. So this was my bro. He told me to follow him and he led me right through a parade concession in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. And we heard all the clanging sound. And it was a parade, like the Swedish marching band or something. And I said, "Oh my God, it's a parade!" And he said, "What are you worried about?" So he led me through a parade, is what I'm trying to say. Yes, and he just took his sweet time doing it. And also, he got kicked out of community college. John will elaborate on that, I'm sure. He got kicked out of Burlington County College. Most of you know that. And because he wrote about in the school paper about a male model having an erection in the school fashion show.
Yep.
Okay, here's another one. Well, outside in front of our house, he had his fat pants on when he lost a lot of weight, and he started checking the mail, and he let go of his pants, and they fell down in front of the house, and with the zillion cars and people passing by, and he just continued reading the mail, that was it. And I said, when I started getting hysterical, what are you worried about?
Yeah, that was his kind of thing. What are you worried about? Yeah.
And here's another one. He wrote over he wrote hundreds of articles, a lot for the New York Post and a lot for the Wall Street Journal and
Burlington County Herald.
and the Burlington County Herald. Thank you. I forgot. I couldn't remember the name of that. And where's the big? Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. Just to give you guys an idea, I found this in his apartment.
Right, to be quiet.
Of yellow and brown articles from the Post and the Wall Street Journal. And there's all of these are online. So, feel free. You just go, it's very easy. Just go to Ed Zwirn, New York Post articles, Ed Zwirn, Wall Street Journal articles. And yeah. So, but I just wanted you to have an idea.
Mentions weed.
We see them.
No, anybody, no.
There's like hundreds here, but they're, yeah. Okay. And that's that. And blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, here's another, what? Oh, okay. So even though we fought a lot, he was a big support while my parents were ill. He came home to start a life with his daughter, Deanna. Unfortunately, she's not on, she's living in a remote part of Hawaii. But anyway, he was a big support while my parents were ill. He came home to start a life with his daughter, Deanna, and his then wife, Luba. So if he wants me to say whatever. Okay. And he got our dog Stoned, Fuzzy and Checkers. And he taught his bird, Mr. Boyd. That was your. Oh, you bought him, but I think. Oh, so you guys both own. Ed and John owned the house together, and John bought a bird, Mr. Boyd.
Susie, we don't hear you all the time. Stay close to the computer.
Come over here, John. Oh.
I don't hear the people in the background.
So you want to say what you said about no. Oh, okay. Yeah, so John and Edward had a bird. His name
where you are, I can hear, but anyone in your room has to be near where you are.
Oh, okay. All right. So they taught, what I'm trying to say is that they taught Mr. Boyd some choice words. Taught himself pretty much. Like, bullshit, fucking Boyd. And he used to say, what are you doing?
We're missing some of this.
Can you introduce the people who you're with?
Oh, okay. This is John.
And what is John? What is John's significance?
John?
We can't hear you. Can't hear you. Sorry.
Susie, stay close to whatever computer is working for you right now.
Okay, this is the one that.
You're fading now.
Oh, I am. Oh, okay.
Now we hear you.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Is that John Aquino? That's John Aquino.
Yeah.
Hey, John, it's Nick. How you doing?
Wow.
I believe so. Yeah, it's John.
Who knew? Who knew that was John Aquino? Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Just capture it.
He's a photographer, right? I believe so.
So I'll just read a couple more, and then John could go on.
There's a section where we hear you and a section where we don't hear you.
Okay.
We don't hear you now.
You don't hear me now?
Now we hear you.
Oh,
now
okay.
we do.
All right.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And if he talks, he has to be wherever you are.
Okay. All right, I'll finish my little thing, and then John will sit in
Захочеш
my
говорити,
chair.
то треба, я покажу зараз як.
Say hello.
Я просто скажу.
Спеціально зробила м'юти. Я камеру.
All right.
Face the speaker.
Okay. All right. So, okay. As a kid, Edward would read War and Peace while mowing the lawn.
Wow.
Anybody hear that?
Yeah, we heard you. Thank you.
That we heard.
Okay. And at 7 years old, he beat our identical twin babysitters in a game of chess. And my parents wanted to know what the 7-year-old kid was doing up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. And they said, in unison, identical twins both said, we didn't think he would beat us. And also while he was mowing the lawn, he read the dictionary from front to back 2 times. As far as I know, I probably read it more knowing him. He scored the second highest SAT score in the state of New Jersey. And believe it or not, Alan will know this, his best friend at the time, George Skelly, he scored the first highest in the state of New Jersey.
Must have drove Ed crazy.
Yeah, it's ironic.
Oh, I had to.
You guys know New Jersey, how big it is. And they're 2 best friends at the time.
You're fading a little, Susie. We got most of what you said.
Okay, good. Okay. And he taught me the facts of life by taking me over to the fish tank and telling me the male. Okay, this is how it is. He called me shithead. He said, well, shithead, all right, watch closely. This is the male fish, and he has to go on the podium. This is a female fish, and she had a name like Spinomonium or something. The male fish puts his gonopodium into the female fish's Spinomonium, and that's how they make babies. And well, we know. Okay, a couple more. And oh, and his butt made the cover of the Village Voice. It was wearing, he was streaking. And he was streaking when he went to Fairleigh Dickinson University with like a zillion students. Yeah, did you guys hear that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Get closer where Susie was.
He wasn't running, streaking. He was only walking slowly, really slow, with his pipe and a scarf.
His pipe and a scarf?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So what else is going on here, Sue? We'll do the podcast together.
So, John, were you like his best friend, one of his best friends or something?
Can't hear you, John. John, we can't hear you.
I
met Ed.
No.
At
Can't hear
Fairleigh
you,
Dickinson.
Back up a little bit.
Speakers.
Either Susie
Yeah.
can say what you say, or you got to be in the spot she was in before.
I am. I'm right on top of the computer.
Hey,
Now
but now
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Now you're good. You're good now.
I met Ed in 1973 at Fairleigh Dickinson. I met Nick there too. And through Ed, I met Alan Bookman and Pete Parada. We were like the 4 Musketeers, wreaking havoc. And Ed not only got thrown out of Burlington Community College, he also got thrown out of Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Good track record.
Beat up the RA, the dean of students. He beat up, and then he got sent to the dean's office, and he made a hard time for that guy too. They actually made him leave.
And may I interject? This is why Ed was the editor of the student paper.
Not at Fairleigh Dickinson, but at Burlington County College.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And when he worked for the Burlington County Times, or Harold rather, he wrote a scathing story about the water commissioner of Mount Holly because he had a fire hydrant by his pool. And after the article came out, they had to show him that it was a toy fire extinguisher, fire hydrant that wasn't attached to anything.
Mm.
This is
I
good
can't tell you
stuff.
how to start stories, you know.
Breaking
One
the
time with my son, we went to his cabin up in Bethel, and it was freezing in a blizzard, and he ran out of wood. So he took out a circular saw and cut up furniture and threw it into the fireplace. I made a big impression on my son. He loved that. He was probably about 9 years old at that point. He burned his furniture to stay warm. Yeah,
Oh, good.
a couple chairs.
I was his savior up here.
Yeah. Oh my God, that place was freezing. He had.
it was right off the lake too, so you had the cold coming in off the lake. the
Yeah.
wind.
Yeah.
Is this where he was living?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a lot of renovations for him up there.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Because he told me he was living near Woodstock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes. It's right around the corner from us.
Oh, okay. I remember him
It's
telling
our
me that.
neighbor.
I made sure that he stayed alive up there.
Wow. He was lucky then.
Yeah, we were close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I met him. And then through the years we really got close.
Well, tell him the story how you two actually got to be friends. When he
Well,
called you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, well, it was he called me from the sheriff's department.
Oh,
got-
really?
Yeah, he got stopped. He had a couple joints on him.
Oh,
And they-
no.
Yeah, so he had like $100 and his bail was 160. So anyway, when he called, it was I answered the phone. He said, "Don't hang up, don't hang up." So I went out and bailed him out, and that's how I actually got close to him. It was kind of
You're a
fun.
good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
Well,
lot of good times. But I'll tell you, like I had a serious back operation, and every week he'd walk over. I don't care what the weather was, a blizzard or whatever. And he'd help my wife get the wood in and stuff for us. And,
Yeah, every Sunday he would come here and help me, and I would cook him dinner. And
yeah.
he was truly special. He really was.
Yeah.
He was good.
And he
Good
didn't
to
know a
all.
lot of people, so through me, he met a lot of people, and
Yeah, he got close with us and our grandchildren, and our grandsons and our granddaughters. They'd be like, "When are we going to the city to go see Ed after he moved away?" Well, they loved hanging out with him. They took him to Cane's, the burger place there in Times Square, and oh yeah, they loved hanging out with Ed.
yeah,
like going to a fun house.
It
yeah, it
was.
was.
They really enjoyed him. They really did.
Well,
Like-
I taught him the country living up here, I guess. So, well, we had pigs and chickens, and he loved that stuff.
Yeah, it
My
was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
He'd come over, my rooster would attack him. He'd be running. Yeah,
They do that anyway, roosters.
yeah. We used to play a lot of practical jokes with him.
A lot of
stuff like that.
chess.
Yeah, we did it back and forth to each other. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Concept.
sounds like you had a lot of fun.
yeah, that was our relationship. We just had a lot of fun together.
Remember the day he came over with his Employee of the Month shirt on?
Yeah.
So he came over here with his T-shirt on that said Employee of the Month, right? And I think he got fired the same day he was wearing this shirt.
Yeah.
It's typical.
So he was drinking, and he went home,
He lost his keys.
and he calls up Dale, and he says, "Dale," he goes, "I can't find my keys. I can't get in my house."
That was every day in Jersey City. He couldn't find it.
I went to his place, and Dale says, "Well, what happened?" He says, "Well, I got out of the car and I fell." So Dale says, "Well, where'd you fall?" And he's like, "Over here, so you can see all the grass laying down."
His grass, he didn't mow it. So when he fell in the grass, you could see exactly where he fell. I said, "Well, there's your keys."
Here's his keys laying right where he fell.
Well, when I lived with him in Jersey City, I was on the first floor, he was on the second floor. And I knew when he was getting ready to leave because I would hear his footsteps go all through the entire apartment upstairs. So he's looking for his keys. He can't find his keys. Hey, do I leave my keys down there? No, Ed.
Yeah.
It's good that you were looking out for him.
Oh yeah, believe me. He bought this van from my nephew. And my nephew said it has no brakes, Ed. You have to have someone get the brakes.
Oh, the killer van, the white killer
Yeah,
van.
tell him not to drive it.
Yeah, he said, don't drive it. Well,
The
Ed
van
said,
he took out Liberty,
okay.
New York in.
Ed said, I'll just take it easy. I'll be able to stop it. Well, when he got out to the road, he couldn't stop. He went across the road, and then when he took off again, there was the post office. He'd go flying in there, and there was no way to stop the thing. So he ended up on top of this big round bale, and the thing started the round bale on fire. He goes in the
Wow.
post office. The guy says, "Oh, yeah, I got your bale of hay on fire." What? So
Is that the Bell telephone truck?
yeah,
I think so.
So Deanna got in the back, right? And she couldn't get out, and she started screaming. So Ed took an axe to the door, and it's a beautiful sight. Like it's a young girl screaming at the top of her lungs. And it's a white, like, abduction van, and it has an axe in it.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, he was something. He was a character.
yeah.
Well,
Then he
we
brought this,
hitchhiked cross country in 1974. Back and
yeah,
forth.
yeah. I know he was very close with you, and it's,
Yeah,
We,
one good thing that he really did was after he sold his house up here, our granddaughter, she stays with us, and she was probably what, like 6 at the time, 6, 7 when he moved. So he moved down there, and he called me up and he says, Kim, he said, there's something coming in the mail for Bella. Watch the mail. I said, okay. So like a couple days later, this big box shows up, and Ed went and ordered her an American Girl doll and sent it.
Ah,
So like 6 months later was her birthday, and he says to her, he goes, I'd really like to take her to the store and have her doll's ears pierced or her hair done, whatever she chooses to do. So then we went down, and he took her there and had the doll's hair done. So he was really a special person. He really was. We were all very close with
called
him.
him Special Ed.
yeah,
Yeah, he's special.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that going through the city won't be the same for us anymore. We'd come down, and we would bring our granddaughter down for a knee, and he'd always meet me for lunch, or we'd go down and pick him up. Near the end, he was starting to get a little slower and slower, but
I thought he was getting really forgetful or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he was very thin. I was very concerned about that.
wasn't feeling too good. So
You know, last time we saw him, I was concerned about how he was doing and feeling. And
I kept passing out on the street, and he said, "Oh, the doctor said nothing's wrong." But I'm pretty sure the doctor said he probably should have got an MRI or something. And he did get one.
Yeah.
He did, and nothing was wrong.
I know he was putting things off, because of the money and stuff. So it just
yeah,
won't be the same for us anymore. We had a lot of great memories with him.
he got stuck in the roundabout at the hospital one day. You know, the sliders that go round and around.
Yeah.
oh
He got stuck
no.
in it. We're standing outside. We're like, Ed, come out. And he kept going around and around. We were laughing our heads off.
I don't think he could see right with his glasses or something.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh my God.
I said, man, I hope you don't get pinched in half there.
Oh, it was something though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
seemed to have a wonderful joy of, for living life. He really enjoyed things
Yeah.
and a great sense of humor.
Yes. Yes.
And he was highly intelligent.
Oh, forget it. I mean, he knew everybody. I mean, like all the higher ups here. I mean, he could do town board meetings, write articles. He was always going home to write the Ukrainian journal.
Ukrainian journal. Yeah. He was always doing that.
Yeah. And he really enjoyed doing those things. Then he was writing about the cannabis and stuff like that. He was like, look at this
He was a
article.
very good writer. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He was gifted. He was really gifted. Super smart.
Yeah.
Can I say
Really a
something?
loss.
Just one good thing. Good thing he wasn't a cab driver.
Yeah. Cab and Uber was definitely his.
He had me get.
Blast rap music on the radio and then just like act like, oh, we're gonna crash, with Deanna in the car, so he would look like this cool dad. But as far as sense of humor goes, just to give you an idea, I don't remember which friend of Ed's it was, but when we were teenagers, we were in the car, and it was really hot. We had the window open. We had our dog Fuzzy in the car and one of Ed's friends. and Fuzzy stuck her head out the window, and the cop went by because I think the car reeked of pot, and the cop went by, and all of a sudden looked Ed right in the face, and Ed, I'm not kidding, barked at the cop. He went, woof. And the cop said, no, that man did just not bark at me, had that look on his face. That's a dog, we just assumed it was the dog barking, not. Oh, okay, go ahead. John wants to say something.
Oh, John's back. Okay.
We went to the Philadelphia Folk Festival, and we were still into like rugged camping, so we didn't bring tents or anything. We just brought sleeping bags and hefty trash bags. And we put the sleeping bag in a hefty trash bag, and we sat there at a campsite just getting blasted. And then this Winnebago pulls up with a whole family, and the mother gets out and is looking at me and Ed in the trash bags because it's slightly raining, And the mother went away. The father said, "Hey, can I have a hit of some of that shit?" Then Ed had this giant cob corn pipe, and it was stuffed full of weed. And we were at the, listening to music. And he says, "You got any matches?" I don't carry matches. And he went up to a state trooper and said, "Hey, you want to light this up for me? Give me a light." And the state trooper lit his weed up.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
you talk about corncob pipe. He just had me bring him down one.
Yeah, that's what he wanted for Hanukkah.
Yeah.
He said, "Find me a corncob pipe. I need one."
He says, "You believe I can't find one in the city?"
It took us a while to find one.
Wow.
yeah, I know him from the folk festival too. He was camping near. Well, I mean, I knew him for many, many years.
Yeah.
But I remember in 1977, he was camping, and I forgot. I think his tent fell down. He actually had a tent at that point. But we had some silly sayings that we thought were so great, and it would be like, "How long has this been going on? What will happen next? Who are these people, and what do they want of us?"
Yeah, we always
And
did that.
yeah, we thought that was like the greatest thing, and we would say it, and it would be so meaningful. And now I just think, oh, well, that was the thing we did. But major sense of enjoying life and marching to his own beat, major IQ there. But go ahead, John. Did you want to say some more?
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much.
Could I just mention a little road trip I took with Ed?
Yeah, you know what? I opted out on that because I got a new stereo. That trip that you did with Ed, I wasn't going to get in the car with him again.
Well, I was going to say we left Morristown. I was working in
stayed
Morristown,
home.
New Jersey, and we left on Saturday. It was a Memorial Day weekend, and we blasted up to Quebec City. And I remember vividly sleeping on the passenger side, and then I'd wake up and Ed's leaning over into the oncoming traffic, and I grabbed the steering wheel and I said, "Ed, what are you doing?" I'm okay. I said, okay. So we got up to Montreal, then up to Quebec City. I mean, I don't know where we got the energy, but we were up all day. And then that night we couldn't find any place to stay. We slept in a park. There was this like hobo guy right next to us right there in Quebec City. Got up the next day, partied. And then and that night we were looking for some pot, and we mentioned to a guy. He goes, "Hashish?" We said, "Sure." And he took us to a party of all these like lumberjack type people and these gals that were looking like lumberjacks. And then we drove home. I don't think we had more than about 10 hours or 15 hours of sleep the whole time we were up there. And then the next on Tuesday, I was ready for work. I put my suit on and went to work. And then I happened to mention to somebody I was in Quebec City. They're like, "Over the weekend? How did you do that?" I said, "Oh, we flew up." I covered myself. We took a plane up to Quebec City.
I remember you were going to go there. You guys wanted me to go. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to stay home. I'm going to sit this one out. I just bought a new stereo, and I wanted to sit in my apartment and play records.
I'm telling you, Ed was a good one for anecdotes. And the thing about that trip, too, is I'm a Hank Williams fan. So he had an 8-track or something, or a cassette player, and I brought my Hank Williams with me. And I was screaming Hank Williams at the top of my lungs on the way back, and I got him into Hank Williams. And one day, years later, he said, "Well, we're doing something." He goes, "This is sort of on the same level of doing 80 miles an hour screaming Hank Williams lyrics." You know, it was.
That's
Okay,
right.
it was a touchstone. You know, he
Ed
was great.
didn't know he was going 80 miles an hour.
What's that?
Ed didn't know he was going 80
I know that's what I was going
miles
to
an hour.
say.
He
He got me
know.
into the school paper at Fairleigh Dickinson. And I met him, I think, from Martine, who was a gal who now owns a restaurant in New Hope, Pennsylvania, by the way, called Martine's Waterfront. And
Oh.
she was a great cook. Ed said, I got a good friend of mine. So we crawled in through her window, her dorm room window, and she was down in the communal kitchen cooking. And then, Godfred Johansson. Remember Godfred Johansson,
Yeah.
John? That's who I met him through, Godfred Johansson. Then we got me into the school paper, and I wrote a column. And I mentioned this, earlier, was that when he left, my column was called Insight, and I renamed it after one of Ed's poems, which was the line, "I wish I had a beer." So
Yeah,
I wanted to memorialize him that way in the press room. But we had a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun hanging out with him.
We always had a lot of fun with him.
Yeah.
Ed's famous.
Well, he defied the odds, and he was able to do things other people couldn't do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he just had that nonchalant attitude about everything. He really did.
Yeah, it was kind of like floating on top of the waves, sort of, bouncing along, like taking it all in.
Well, Ed's famous poem is "Blackbeard Without a Beard." He wrote.
I remember that.
He wrote about a person he met when he was hitchhiking to Grossinger's in the Catskills.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, of course you remember that, Alan. You hitchhiked that way too.
Blackbeard without a beard.
Blackbeard without a beard.
That sounds pretty good.
Almost said the Cosmic Zap.
Cosmic Zap is the best.
Yeah.
Cosmic Zap.
Zap.
I have poetry in that. Yeah, he started a poetry page in the paper at Fairleigh Dickinson, which I contributed to. That was great.
Me too. I had a rant in it.
Yeah. I do want to mention that my girlfriend of many years had passed away a while ago, and we're all up in Narrowsburg near Bethel, and I invited Ed over to the service that we had for her, and she had been cremated, so her ashes were buried at her sister's property, and I remember Ed was one of the people that actually helped bury her remains. It made me feel really good that I had that long-term connection with him, and that he did that as a gesture. So he had a good heart. Ed had a good heart.
Oh yeah, very loyal friend.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, if he liked you, he liked you.
Yeah. Oh, and he barked at me a couple of times too when he was mad at me. That was fun too. Yeah.
He always got mad at me.
Yeah.
Well, he called me up. He called me up one day and he says, "Is there wild animals? I mean, wild boars up here?" And I said, "Not that I know of." Well, anyway, I guess this farmer up there, he had a couple of those wild boars, and they were over by Ed's house. So a week later, then everybody found out. But we were up there playing cards by his next door neighbor, and he walked over to get his change, and it was dark. So I went and snuck halfway in between his trees. When he come out, I went made a pig sound like this and snapped the branch. All of a sudden, he took off running. Dale. He was that's the kind of relationship him and I had.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
They were always joking around and calling each other names, and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and you can't do that with everybody,
It would probably be a good comedy series.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When he would get bored, he did this forever too. He would get bored. He'd lay down on the couch and put all his change out next to him and flip the coins. I said, "What are you doing?" "It's a game I made up. It's a game of war." Right? He never explained what it was, but he just occupy himself for hours flipping coins over.
I go into his office up there because I was working on his house, changing his cabinets, and he'd have a pile of papers in his room. Like, holy smoke, Ed, how do you? And he'd know where everything was. That was the crazy part of it. He had
Don't step on it. Be careful.
There,
Be careful. Don't step on it. It's on the floor. Be careful. What are you
grade,
stepping on my stuff
I know
for?
where it is. How do you know where it is? But he knows.
In fifth grade, I mean, invented a game called Road to Success. And we had a similar worldview about how the world was operating at that time. And there was no rules. And Ed's dad, Harry, mowed the lawn in the backyard just one time around, like a circle. So we made a game out of that, the Road to Success. And there was no rules. So you were allowed to do anything you could to the other person. Uh,
There's an invitation.
Remember, Alan, we were all together for the Super Bowl party at you and Pete's like place you rented in the middle of nowhere. And we were playing Risk. We were playing Risk for like 8 hours, and Ed got mad and smashed the board. You remember doing that?
No,
you and Ed
but that
had a
sounds
place.
right.
Oh no, wasn't you and Pete had a place, or you and Ed? You and Pete had a place, right?
Yeah.
And we had a Super Bowl party, and we just played Risk while
Yeah.
watching the game. And then Ed just at one point he was losing, so he just flipped the board.
Yeah, and some of those stories I don't remember a lot of the stuff, but Nick was there sometimes. Nick's
Yeah.
He was pretty good in chess, though.
Yeah.
I
It
would
took me
talk him
3
out of it.
years to beat him in one game.
I'm not surprised.
I hadn't seen him in a couple years.
I'm
sorry.
to figure out how to beat him.
I hadn't seen him in a couple years. I drove up to Bethel, got there around 2:00 in the morning, and I turned up the stereo of my car. I was playing the late John Garfield blues, which is sort of like, I guess a Howl at the Moon type of song for the both of us, the John Prine. And he comes out, he's in his underwear, stands there on the porch, and the two of us are singing along with John Prine. It was great. And then after the song was over, we embraced and everything. And I told him I'm up for the weekend and all. And so just wanted to surprise him. Yeah, he was great that way.
When I lived on Washington Street in Hoboken, we had about 6 fish tanks all going at once. And I invited like 7 people over after like we were drinking. And we get to our place, and there's Ed in his underwear with no t-shirt, with his cardigan sweater, and he's fixing the fish tanks. He didn't put any more clothes on when the people were there. It's just too much to go over,
No,
He always had one button off on
good
his
stuff.
shirt.
Always.
Shirts are always buttoned crooked.
Yeah. I said, Ed.
I got to jump off here.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I got to jump here in a second.
I used to tell
I
him
think
he's like Clem Cadiddlehopper in the Red Skeleton Show.
I think Matt's trying to say something.
Matt, you
What?
want to say something?
Yeah, I got to hop off here, but I'm very sorry to hear about Ed's passing. Always going to remember him in the fun times when I was younger. And what my father referenced, years ago when I was maybe 9 or 10, we were up there, and I was driving with him somewhere, and my father had the Subaru, and Ed got stuck in a ditch in a cul-de-sac by his neighbor's house, and he kept on shifting the car downwards, and he'd floor it in one spot. He made a hole, and there was all these mud and rocks going all over the neighbor's front porch, and eventually he had to put it in reverse and drive out.
And he made it?
He made it, yeah. He made it,
wow.
but he made a hole too.
Well, he was brave and he was fearless and he was very smart and took a lot of chances. And it worked.
I want to say to Matt, every child should have an uncle like Ed.
He locked his keys. He bought this convertible, a sports car, nice car, and he locks his keys in the car. And what he does, he cuts the top right above the driver's seat to get to his keys. So he comes to me. He says, "Dale, I don't know how I'm going to stop this water." I said, "Ed, why didn't you cut it on the other side? At least you wouldn't get in a bath when it rains." So anyway, I took all these zip ties and put it back together with some glue, and it was so funny though watching him go down the road. It looked like a softball stitching on his roof there.
It was crazy.
I said, "Hey, next time, break that side window."
Hey, Matt, say hi to
All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Are you okay? Thanks for being here, Matt.
Thank you so much. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye, Maddie.
Bye bye.
definitely
Well,
had a lot of
you've
fun.
all said a lot of good stuff. Is anybody who is on here who didn't speak want to say anything?
No.
Friends that are on. I don't know if his daughter.
Susie, we need you back where we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Do you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Oh, okay. Is if Oleg wants to say something, Gaia. They all had some great stories about the way they knew Ed from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're all praying for people in the Ukraine, by the way, just so you know.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. Oleg, are you on or?
HALIA.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him earlier.
And Oleg. Okay,
Oleg.
we can't push anyone, but if you want to say something.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
No, but we can hear you.
All right. I'm sorry.
Can you get on camera?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you just mentioned he worked for Ukrainian Journal.
Yeah.
The Ukrainian Journal is the newsletter that I started, and so we worked with him.
Yeah.
For many years, maybe.
I remember you.
10. But we met him when he came to Ukraine first time. It was in 1994 or something like that, maybe 93. He was the editor at Intel News, a small news agency that was covering Ukraine for multinational companies and embassies. And the thing is that Ukraine just became independent after the breakup of the Soviet Union. But all the English-speaking journalists and everything was based in Moscow. So Ukraine became an independent country, and suddenly there is no reporters or no editors to actually produce quality stuff, so that people can understand what's going on. And that was the idea behind the creation of the Intel news agency, to which Ed came first time to Ukraine. And I absolutely remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hell of a guy to hire.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Again,
like
talk about taking chances.
Yeah, one of the first things he did, he started Intel News Consumer Price Index. That was a great product. We were tracking this prices for different consumer items and food and everything, utilities, and that was compiled into like a measure of inflation.
Because government reports were fraudulent. So Ed figured it out that there should be a way to see real stats on inflation. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Galia,
Thanks
you will have
for
a chance
telling
to say
us.
something. Galia is my wife. she also, we met at the same time, so she has a lot of stories to tell. So that the measure of inflation was the first of its kind in Ukraine, because the government was tracking it on a monthly basis. And but we were doing it on a weekly basis. And I remember that all the embassies, all the clients, all the multinational companies, they were eagerly awaiting that price index, because they were, I think, were adjusting their salaries and everything. So they were really like, if we didn't come on that day for whatever reason, they would call us and get the price index, consumer price index. So that was Ed's invention.
How did you guys find Ed, or how did he find you guys?
Oh, he came to our office basically. I mean, you know what? The funny thing, he showed up at work like on the weekend. I remember I had a shift on the weekend when no one but the editor on duty, and then Ed shows up like on Saturday, in his gray jacket and some hockey pants.
Was saying his underwear?
No, I mean,
Ryan,
no,
sir.
no, I mean, I heard all the stories. It was never was actually, when I saw his underwear. No, I mean, he was. I mean, honestly, quite didn't care much how what he puts on and stuff like that. That's true. Yeah, and it's funny. He was eating. He was. The food was all over his.
Yeah.
Place and everything. Yeah, so that was. Yeah, and Diana was born. I mean, of course, and we were with them at the time in Ukraine. And what's interesting also is that we were staying with Ed when September 11 happened, and yes, I mean that we were here in Staten Island, and at the time, Ed was in his cabin, right upstate. And Luba, she was in Manhattan when this happened. And when they closed all the bridges and tunnels and ferries, everything was sealed off. Staten Island was we were left, my wife and I, here in Staten Island, and Deanna was also here at JCC. You can walk this, like 5 blocks to it. So they called us and, to pick up Deanna and actually take care of her because Luba could not get to Staten Island for like 6 days, and Ed was upstate. But then Ed came back and like maybe 3-4 days, I don't remember, in the car to pick up Deanna. So that was quite a time. I don't know. Maybe you want to add something?
I'll try not to cry, guys.
Oh, hey, Julia.
Sorry. It just about his heart. Everybody said he has such a big. Okay, I'm sorry. When Soviet Union collapsed, imagine what it meant to be an American in former Soviet Union. People are highly educated and very talented, but also very poor. And to see a real American, to touch a real American, to actually know he or she is for real, it was like they were like gods, people who came from different dimension, from different universe. And here comes Ed. It's something that stood out so much. All that intelligence, all that knowledge. As Oleg said, he would show up on weekend. He lived journalism. He loved news. And I was graduating at the time from the most prestigious journalism department in the country. I didn't know how to write because Soviet way of writing, you have to start reading a story from the last graph to try to figure out what they're talking about. It's real news was also hidden behind propaganda, and to untangle what was actually going on, it was taking a lot of nerves, a lot of time, a lot of energy. And I am struggling for words here. You know how some people are very arrogant, and even in those circumstances, even more or less adequate people, they were starting to thinking of Americans in Ukraine, they were starting to think of themselves as gods, because an average American salary, let's say working for McDonald's, it would equal an average pay that a Ukrainian would make in years. So it didn't get into Ed's head. He was teaching us how to write, how to edit. Ed is my journalism school, and not that prestigious university that I graduated from. He taught me everything. He actually made it interesting for me to make this news readable, digestible, meaningful. And again, he had no arrogance at all. He never expected anything in return. It just, I never met anybody like that. And
it was very nurturing. I remember that about him. Yeah,
exactly. And as Oleg was saying, he would see false news immediately. He felt false people. He felt false news, and in a way, when he he kept asking about this CPI. He figured out everything was corrupt in the country. Everything still is. And he was trying to find a way to actually show what the real inflation is. He would walk around the office asking what people eat, how much potatoes a week an average family buys. And when people were explaining, oh, actually, many Ukrainians do not buy potatoes or veggies because everybody has, some kind of dacha, a little piece of land outside of the city, and that's they save the harvest until the next harvest. So he would take somehow that into account. The attention he paid to detail, to every human soul he was working with. Like Oleg was talking about Intel News, he reorganized the whole process of how we were preparing news for Western audience, mostly first embassies, first companies such as McDonald's, Unilever, Coca-Cola. We would edit not the English translation, but the original report from correspondent. He managed to train non-English speaking correspondents. Through me, through Oleg, who would translate his instructions, he would try to explain. Again, he was never arrogant, quite opposite. I never met anybody like that in my life. No, it's his way to human soul, his way to connect with people. It's
Yeah, can I add something here?
Oh, and I'm sorry. And one more detail. He changed us in every way. My mother, God bless her soul, was terrified when I told her Ed loved parties. And he had a very nice apartment in the very nice part of Kiev on Sheta Rustaveli. Remember that one? And he, one party, he had cut mushrooms raw. In Ukraine, every year people die from poisonous mushrooms that they pick as edible in forests. Again, it all comes down to inflation, trying to save on food. So, and my mother was terrified that I told her that I saw with my own eyes how an American, this editor that I keep telling you about, ate raw mushrooms. She was absolutely terrified. This cannot be. Nobody explained to him. But see, and now we know that raw mushrooms are edible, certain types. Anyway, God bless his soul.
Yeah. Can I add something?
Sure.
Okay. So I mentioned this Intel News consumer pricing that he invented, but there was one thing that he was particularly proud. At a time, there was, I think in 1994, there was a very consequential presidential election in Ukraine. And everyone expected that like the guy from from western regions of Ukraine and central would win. But what Ed did, he ran this opinion poll. I mean, actually, it was what do you call it? Like exit poll, basically. He instructed. We had correspondents like in every region of Ukraine. He assigned people in every region to talk to like 5, maybe 10 people at the most, and quickly send this information to us. So he was able to call based on this map that the other guy is going to win, and we went with the top story on that. That was crazy, and that guy won.
Very innovative.
Absolutely. I mean, there was nothing like that. It was a Western sort of technique of applying to to reporting, which in Ukraine did not exist at the time because of the heritage of Soviet Union. But we were able to call him. He was so happy about it. That was his proudest moment, that we were the only ones able to call who's going to win election. Consequential, change everything. So that was very important. And also, Halia mentioned that Ed was actually the one who was teaching us how to write.
He changed the way I think.
Yes.
Did he speak Ukrainian or Russian?
No. He tried to learn.
But he learned. You cannot. This is
exactly.
crazy.
that's the way. I'm sorry, Alec, for interrupting. It's a great
That's okay.
question about. It's a great question of him not being able to speak Russian or Ukrainian, but language barrier, mentality barrier did not exist in the way he connected to people. It's something in any language that I speak, I cannot find words to describe it. It's something about energy. It's something about us being equal as souls under God. I'm sorry for big words, but that's how it felt. It just no. He changed the way I think. He changed the way I see life, and he changed many people around him.
That's so beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you two could share this.
And
Yeah.
also, I can relate to the story about American Doll. The way he treated my kids, I had a very problematic pregnancy in Ukraine. They were already here, Ed and his family. He would call me every couple days. He was my biggest support outside of my family. I was falling into depression, and he was talking me because his wife went through pregnancy in Kiev, so he knew how that is. It's hard to describe this person.
He was one of a kind. He was very special.
We have to put all these in writing.
And also, what Oleg keeps saying, how much he did for Ukrainian journalism, I don't think people recognize it yet because of the war and everything. But in Soviet Union, if you wanted to achieve anything professionally, you would have to be in Moscow. So basically, there was a drain of brains, of intellect from surrounding countries into Russia, into Moscow. And when Ed started to work in Kiev, and we started to learn all these techniques at the time unimaginable even in Moscow, it was such a contrast. It was such a huge leap forward. It didn't exist in Moscow at the time, and he brought it here to a tiny English language news bulletin, first in the country, started by New York Times correspondent as her side gig or whatever you call it. But yeah, it's.
And he just walked in one Saturday?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
What an amazing journey.
And
that's awesome.
He made sure he always lived nearby, because at that time, early 90s, and even these days, news break 24/7, big news for the country. And he was willing to work 24/7. Schedule didn't exist for him. Just call me if something happens. Just call me if something happens. and he took care about people around him. For example, the owner of the newspaper, of this news bulletin, she didn't realize people were leaving office after the midnight. And he talked to her. He arranged transportation system that she agreed to finance. So he was thinking about our safety, how we get home, because many people lived on the outskirts of Kiev. Again, it's amazing the way he was. God bless his
That's
soul.
such a beautiful
He
story
loved
and recounting of his life. It's wow.
You have to memorialize that somehow. You guys are writers.
I was thinking about
I
it.
hope you can write it up.
Nick, I read what you wrote on his page, and it's beautiful. I keep crying. I cannot start writing.
Yeah, I
know.
I know.
Is there anybody else we missed?
Rick, did you want to say something?
I don't want to cut anyone out.
Yeah, my boyfriend Rick would like to speak.
Okay.
Okay. You want to come over here? I'm coming over there. Okay. He's on his way.
Okay.
I was pretty strong. I met Susan here in '94. We've been at Hyden ever since. I was pretty strong until, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you pretty well.
Hear my big mouth. I was doing okay till a guy went into that very narrative, emotional statement. How nice, how nice, how nice, Gaia. Woo! Susan and I went up to visit Ed up in, where was it? Around 94, 95, 96, 97, doesn't matter. And I think then we went to Shelley's place, and Shelley and Stan put us on a train back to Manhattan, right, honey?
Right.
We were sitting around Ed's house there. It was cool weather, so we couldn't be outside a lot. I making small talk with my dear girlfriend's brother, and I made mistake of asking Ed about the rulers and czars and leaders of Russia. He went back 300 years and told me the good, the bad, the ugly, and what they stood for. I swear to you, I'm from Carolina. I'd never been educated like that in my life. That impressed me. His knowledge, because a while ago somebody mentioned, did Ed speak the language? No, he just studied. Yeah. Woo! I didn't know that. But that's one that stands out the most about Ed, is how prolific writer that he was and is. Because to write that, you've got to study it. Woo! Anyway, that's my 2 cents. And as you see,
thank you so much for adding, to everything we're already hearing. Anybody else? I don't want to cut anyone out. Or if you have more to say, we can go for a few more minutes.
I'd just like to thank everybody. It was really nice.
Thanks to Gaia. That pretty much did it for me. Thank you, Gaia.
Yeah.
I just want to say that in the Greek tradition, they say "Zoe semas," life to us, and it may sound arrogant, but what it really means is we are left to carry on his legacy, and Ed continues to live through us.
Maybe let's try to write, all of us, some short memories. Maybe.
Yeah. I think if we could, anyone who can write about their experiences should write it up. This is being recorded, so I will have it advertised. It'll probably be on YouTube. And if anybody wants to write or add something, I can add it to the YouTube version of this.
Ed would say everyone can write.
Yes.
And he would train everyone willing to listen.
Yes. Yeah.
It's such beautiful things that have come out. Many things I didn't know everything about him, and I wish I had known him more than I did. I had known him from childhood through early young adulthood, but we had lived away from each other. But I always found him very amusing, and everything I heard, I am very impressed with. Susie, did you want to say something else?
I was just wondering if Alan wanted to say something. I think
Alan did say a few things.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
And anybody else on, like my niece by any chance, or Tiana Zwirn?
It's probably just next door. That's a dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she lives in a remote part of Hawaii, so yeah, I was hoping she would get through, but I guess not.
Ed was not religious, but I'll say the Kaddish. Anyone who knows the Kaddish can say it with me, and then I'll play his song before we go.
One other thing, if talk about religion with Ed, he used to our pastor in our church used to take him out for lunch, and he used to help the pastor write the scripture and stuff.
The sermons, yeah.
So
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, our pastor loved him.
Yeah, he gave him some stock tips, and
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, quite a spiritual guy.
Yes,
so we say the Kaddish, at the end of these kind of things. It's in Aramaic, which was the language of Jesus at the time. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If you know it, you can join, and then we'll probably sign off. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah bi'alma divra kirute yamyuk malkute b'kaye kon uvyoma kon ukaye dekol bet Yisrael Ba'agala uzisman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivarak lo'olam olei omaya. V'yit barak, v'yish tabak, v'yit pa'ar, v'yit roman, v'yit naseh, v'yit hadar, v'yit halel, alal shemei dekudisha bariku. Lemin kol birkata, v'shirata, tushbakata, v'nekamata, damriran, v'alma, v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'kayim aleinu v'alko Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to play his favorite song as we end our wonderful tribute.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
What'd you say?
Very nice
Can
of
we
you.
say it in English, Jana? Because a lot of people don't know what that means.
Okay. It's basically praising God is really what it is. It's just praising God, without going through and it's about peace. The ending is all about peace. Osei Shalom Bimrumav. It means peace to all. That's what the prayer is really about. I'm going to play his song, Puff the Magic Dragon.
I requested Jana to play that song because as a kid, he would sing that song at every single family gathering. He sang it before his voice changed. He had a beautiful voice. Oh, okay.
Wow.
And we even went to see Peter Yarrow sing the song. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Susan.
Me too.
Birds sing. You kept in a land called Honolulu, little Jackie
Paper
loved that rascal pop.
And gave him strings and
That was great.
For little boys. Make way for other toys. The night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. Green scales fell like rain. Longer went to play in the cherry lane.
The song.
Go ahead, sing it, Nick.
I'm trying to remember the lyrics.
I know, I knew it. I thought I knew it.
I could sing the end of the late John Garfield blues for you.
Okay, I think everybody sort of got it.
Let's do it.
You want me to do it?
Thanks again. I'll send out links for the recording. I appreciate what everybody said.
Thank you.
Jana, thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
organizing it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll look for this on YouTube.
Be a stranger, Jana.
You're welcome.